Okay, hi everyone. We had some technical difficulties, but we are finally here. Super excited to continue with this lunch talk. So, first of all, welcome to Lunch Talk. It's a bi-weekly event we have here at The Great Journey, where we invite people from the video game industry to join us and share their knowledge. Usually, well, you guys who are watching, take a bite.
Yeah.
So my name is Rosanna and I'm the communication manager here at The Great Journey. And with me today we have Björn, which is my colleague, and he's going to talk about how to pitch a game. But before that, I want to take just 1 minute to plug some of the other events we have coming up. So first of all, we have the Great Summer Pitch, which is a pitch event for everyone who have a game idea. And what you do with this pitch event is that you pitch for a panel of people from the industry pros or professionals, or people who are working with experience. Last year we had people from Raw Fury, Avalanche Studios, and so on. So we are looking forward to announce the panel for this year. If you want, if you have any questions about it, just shoot us a message on Discord. Next news is actually that we have already, if you have followed us on social media and on Discord and our website, you're probably seen that we are working together with Future Games and Changemaker Educations to provide game developer, programs. So we have indie game developer and we have experience designer, but just recently, I think it was just last week, it was this week.
This week, actually.
Oh my god, it was this week. We launched Fast Track, which is an accelerator for game developers. So this is an accelerator / program you can actually apply to, which means that if you live in Sweden, you can get CSN funding for doing it. It's CSN eligible. So during 1 year, you can work on your dream project and start your studio, and that's, oh my god.
It's an amazing opportunity really to be able to just sit down 1 year and develop a game.
Yeah.
I actually got jealous that I can't really search that program, but yeah.
We encourage everyone to just look it up. We have everything down in the description. Everything I'm talking about is down there. And the last event I want to talk about is Friday Stories, which is also, it's like the second kind of event that we usually do here at The Great Journey. And we actually today announced the speakers for May, which is Erik Odeldal from Fast Travel Games. I was a little bit distracted because Albin was walking outside, I'm sorry. Kajsa Larsson from Shark Mob and Natalie Ek from DICE. So check out those links below and sign up today because it's going to be one hell of a ride. So I don't think I have anything more to say, so I'm going to leave it to you, Björn, and I'm just going to sneak out here.
All right, thank you, Rosanna. All right, I hope you all see my presentation. Right, so as Rosanna said, welcome to this Thursday's Digital Lunch Talk. And as Rosanna also said, my name is Björn Toreld and I am a community developer, and I also take care of our YouTube channel, or at least videos of it. And today I'm going to talk about how to pitch your game. And this is really to get you ready for the great summer pitch that is coming in early July. So in this presentation, we're going to go over more of an introduction or an overall view on what a pitch should include and what you should think about when you're holding a pitch or preparing for it. We can really divide up a pitch into these 5 segments. And those 5 segments are a short presentation, the game, the team, business, and a vision. And I will go through all these steps during this presentation. A pitch should really answer these 2 questions. And those are, is the game worth making? So is there a game maybe that is really similar? Is it too expensive to make? Or are there a game that is similar but didn't sell that well? And then there's a question, can the team make it? And here you need to just reflect on your own team to see, do you really have the knowledge and the time to develop a game? So let's start off with the short presentation. And you can think a little bit about this like you're making a gameplay trailer or an Instagram post or something where you want to hook the viewer. Because you only have like 5 to 15 seconds to get their attention. So here's a good place to use your elevator pitch design document. And for you that don't know what a game elevator pitch is think that you are taking an elevator ride with the publisher you really want to be publishing your game. But you only have 15 seconds to talk about your game. So each and every word in that sentence should really mean something about your game. I will show some example of it. Then you want to describe the game and what really makes it unique and what makes the game interesting. And then also use photos and GIFs and screenshots and also refer to movies so that the viewer can get a good sense of how your game is going to be. But think that you should take titles and movies that maybe everyone knows and be prepared to answer questions about the movie if the viewer don't know about it. So I have two examples of two elevator pitches. So we have example A, Age of Empire, and example B, Gran Turismo. Age of Empires is a history-themed real-time strategy game for PC that presents the rise of the first great civilization on Earth by combining RTS gameplay from Warcraft 2 with historical and economic features of civilization. These are really great sentences because they first introduce that this is a real-time strategy game and we want to develop it for the PC market, and also tells about what theme it has and where you are taking inspiration from. So you get a good feeling of what game you're making. Then you have Gran Turismo, that is a racing game, and they really want to sell the thing that they are the real driving simulator. So they boast about things like they have accurate reproductions of cars from well-known brands, they have realistic handling and performance of cars, and real-world tracks and racing conditions. When they come to presenting the game, and here's a really good start of showing off your gameplay trailer. But try to keep it as short as maybe 1 minute because you don't want to take so much time. Show GIFs, images, screenshots or concept art about the game here as well. And you should also explain the core gameplay loops of the game and explain the look and feel of the game. So when you're explaining the game loops, you want to show that your game can be replayed and so on. So let's take a strategy game as an example, real time. So you start off by building troops. You take these troops, go out to battle, you collect coins and XP and resources to then unlock new troops that you can build and then go out to battle with. Or let's take an exploring game, like say Fallout 4, where you start off by exploring the world, you find new items and maybe new places, and unlock new areas to explore, and then you see the cycle continues. You should also present the look and feel of a game. And remember here that a picture is worth 1,000 words, so use a lot of pictures. And as I said before, you can take pictures from like a movie that you took reference from, another game, or if you have finished graphics in a game, why not take a screenshot from it? You could also set up an example where you show that this is the graphics style we're going after, but we don't want to go too far in the neon lights and so on, or we don't want to go too much in the overgrowth. So try to explain the look and feel best you can. Then we come to presenting the team, and you should really keep this short and sweet. Here is actually answering the second question: can your team make the game? So you should just present who are in the team, what are their work areas, and also have they worked before during another project or a game or so on, or have studied together. And you can also mention here that you're missing a key member, like say a person that make music or sounds for a game, or a pixel artist. And as you can see, as for example, you shouldn't really have that much information here. But so I've tried to talk about, the most is what experience you have together working before, because that gives a safety to the ones that are listening and maybe going to invest in you, that your group dynamic is probably holding because you have already gone through a couple of projects before, so those problems will probably not be there. And now let's get on to the meaty stuff of the pitch. And that's the business side. Here you want to talk about the target platforms and tools, mention other games of interest and their estimated sales, and if there are a market for a game, your thoughts on marketing your game, how you're going to monetize the game, and how you're going to have a production timeline. So let's first start off with, are there any similar games out there? And this is a great example to show, to visualize where your game are compared to. On the line we have action, fast-paced games, and then on the other side we have slow-paced games. And on the horizontal line we have competitive and then casual. So let's take CSGO for example. It's a really competitive game, but it isn't maybe really but not as slow paced as Arma. And then we have Battlefield that have a really high action, a little bit more casual. And then your game fits in there. So this is a great way to visualize where your game fits in. And also show that if you found a hole in the market where no one have created this game before, when you want to talk about the monetization, and for the Great Journey Summer pitch, you shouldn't really go into that much detail. You should just really mention that you're going to have a one-time payment, maybe with a premium edition of a game. Or is it going to be free to play, where you're going to make money from ads or in-app purchases? Then you need to go into more detail about what's the target group of a game and how much has the similar titles sold in your market group. So when you want to talk about a target group, you don't really want to talk about the age, like from I want to make a game for people that are between 18 and 35. You really want to really talk about the type of player you're after. Let's say that you want players that play Battlefield and Halo, so they are after these grand battles and sandbox FPS shooters. Also. And when it comes to presenting what other games, similar games have made, have how much units they sold, you can use a site that's called Steam Spy if the games you're looking at are on the Steam market. But keep in mind here that you don't really want to compare yourself to a AAA studio. You pretty much want to compare yourself to indie studios, because you're probably an indie studio. So you're probably not going to sell as much units as a AAA studio. So try to find those similar games that are like your games. Mention something about how you think you're going to market the game. A really open developer studio. You want to show from a first movement in the game, so you upload GIFs, videos, screenshots and so on, and try to build a community early on in development. Or maybe you want to, just 2 months before release, spend maybe a little bit about money to ads to show your game. And also, if you have social media accounts that already has a following, of course show it, because then you can show that people are really interested in games. And you should also talk about if you are going to self-publish or if you're going to have a publisher. Do you want a publisher that wants to help you with marketing or are you going to have a Kickstarter here? Then you come to the production timeline, and this should be as simple as possible and easy to read. So you shouldn't really just copy your Trello board or something into your pitch. You should just make a simple line with long-term goals. So for example here at Q1 2021 we are here, and in Q2 2021 we want to have an alpha, and in Q4 of 2021 we want to have an open beta and be part of the Swedish Game Awards, to then release the game in Q1 2022. So the ones that are listening get a really good idea of where you are currently in production and how long it's going to take for you to release the game. Then on to the last part of the pitch. And you should really think of this as a summary and tell your viewers about your goals. So talk about the goals as a company. Maybe this is your second game that you're developing and you want to be an established studio. And you can also mention here that you want to make more games afterwards. And it should also end off with a positive note. For example, when I had a great pitch last year, I ended it in similar like the VR market is a growing market, and units are getting sold that you can't really replace them. And we want to be part of this growing market and be an established studio. And then after that, you just want to open up for questions. So let's get into a little bit of what you should think about when you're preparing for a pitch and when you're holding a pitch. You should really make the pitch your own. So you can use this as a template, you can download it later on, but you should actually take like a color palette from your studio or your game and implement it into your presentation. Maybe take a screenshot of your game, just put a color filter over it and use it as a background. And come prepared to a pitch. You should train on a pitch and you know exactly how long the pitch takes because you have used the timer. And also, if you see that your pitch is too long, don't be afraid to cut out information. And we're already talking about cutting out unnecessary information. You shouldn't really mention, let's say you have an economic system in your game. You don't really want to go into much detail about it because or an inventory system for that is. And I just want to share 3 really good sources or links. And first off is a GDC talk that is 30 things I hate about your game pitch. I have probably watched it 10 times at this point. It's really good because it goes over what things that investors hate to hear really on the pitch. And what information you should have in it and what you shouldn't. You can also check out Raw Fury's documentation on pitching, marketing and legal, etc. And it's a really amazing read, I really recommend it. And as I said before, you can download this pitch as a template, so you can use when you start off your own pitch. But with that, I think I'm going to open up for questions if there are any.
Okay, great. I'm gonna just jump in. I'm gonna bring my computer with me. So if we have any questions, please post them in the chat or post it over at our Discord channel. Both me and Björn are available to answer some questions. I've been working for a publisher before, Raw Fury, for example. So we have had, I have had some experience from the publisher side, and you have been pitching, so you are on the pitcher side.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think for now we don't really have any questions. If you want to have anything, like maybe we can start at, what was your experience? We can start at that end.
Alright. So pitched a couple of times, first in gymnasium when I was part of the Make a Game, and it was the first time I pitched. I didn't really know what was supposed to be in the pitch, so actually my the mentor showed me something similar to this, and I really got a good understanding what should be in it. But we didn't really come prepared to the pitch, so it didn't really go that well. But if you go talk about like the great summer, that was really great actually if you want to take part of it, because you get feedback on what you do. Even if you don't get funding, it's a really good learning experience. And we learned that we come prepared, but we didn't really sell that we were able to make the game. We thought so, and we had planned for it, but we couldn't really
Something that is actually very common is that, as you said also in the talk, is that if you cannot sell like one of the two things,
yeah,
the publisher, or you can also do a pitch. Like we are talking a lot about like pitching for a publisher, pitching for a pitch competition, but you also can pitch for other things. For example, to friends or people you are interested in bringing into your team. And it can be really hard to like if you cannot convince them, because this is kind of like a game in convincing someone that yes, this idea is good and we can do this. For example, not everyone can be what Iron Gate are today, for example. No. Like they have a huge game and they were not many people working on it, but they worked for a while on it.
And I forgot what I was going to say. That's good. So that.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, or died, I think.
Ah, come on.
Oh no. Oh well, I think we can end this here. It seems like the chat are not asking any questions right now, and that is totally fine. This is gonna be you will be able to watch this afterwards if you want to. My camera is still cut off, but that's something that happens. Sometimes technical things is just what it is. So thank you so much everyone who joined us. Thank you everyone who is watching this afterwards. And we will see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye bye.